You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother? Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother would be so... brazen. It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. I found it among my brother's possessions. Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's the Nerevarine, and incites the tribes while I try to keep them all from doing anything rash. You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander, and the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought alongside the Tribunal, before they claimed to be gods, until they betrayed him. So our legends say. Nerevar united the Kaima and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the Tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivek's claims to the contrary. The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike, and make Morrowind great again. The returned Nerevar will be known as the Nerevarine. While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the Tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, such as the Red Exiles, favor war. That's not the Nerevarine I believe in. He uses an Ashkon's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more forceful every day, but I hope to dissuade him from this violent course. All I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless, practically invincible, and swifter than the fastest Ashlander scout. Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned, and now it's always at his side. I know it's unreasonable, but I hate that staff. He calls it Sunara.
Outlander, over here!
This requires a considerable amount of effort, so just listen. We have a problem here. Return to my office immediately.
Ah, a fellow outsider in this inhospitable Sea of Ash. I wonder if we might help each other. Drellith Hilaron of House Redoran at your service, though I doubt I'll be very useful here. This is Ashlander country, and they've made it clear I'm not welcome. It's my fault, really. I made a mess of their customs when I arrived. I'm researching for my family's ancestral tomb, you see. My research led me here, to Aldrin. It's hard to believe, but I think my family may have settled here for a time. When I arrived, I immediately started asking questions. I was... overzealous? Unfortunately, yes. I wonder if we might aid each other. Despite my missteps, I do know a great deal about Ashlander culture. I could help you earn their favor. In return, you could find out if they know anything about my family's tomb. First, pay respect to Farseer Quamta. She walks the Red Path this year, and it's customary to wish her well. Request to take part in the offering to the first Ashkans. Do that, and you should be able to ask their wise woman about the tomb. You'll see a great bonfire in the middle of the camp. She'll be there. look for the woman with the blindfold. Part of the ritual honoring her ascension from Farseer to Wise Woman, the Wise Women guide the Ashlanders on matters of faith. Even the Ashkans defer to them. The blindfold represents the need to look beyond what the eyes can see. The annual pilgrimage to honor the fall of Scar, the great Emperor Crab. The Ashlanders claim their ancestors united to bring the beast down. They gather here to celebrate the victory and bring offerings to the cairns of the first Ashkans. Fathers of the 4 largest Ashlander tribes. Long ago, they united the Velothi people under one banner to kill Scar. The tribes often quarrel, but during a celebration they greet each other as friends. I wish the houses had such a custom. Yes, the Hilaron ancestral tomb. My family's crypt has been lost for centuries. Most of my kinsmen gave up searching for it decades ago. They assume it's been destroyed or lies too deeply buried, but I remain optimistic. I discovered a tablet hidden away in an ancient Velothi temple. It contained a cryptic reference to my family. In the shadow of Scar, we found our home. The Ashlanders call the last Emperor Crab Scar, so the tomb must be nearby. The tribes gather here every year beneath Scar to pay tribute to the first Ashkans. Do you know the old Velothi saying, all stones speak the truth? Well, no one knows these stones better.
Who's there? You're not part of my expedition. Interesting. We're searching these caverns for a sacred shrine that's been lost for ages. Our problem is that Dreg and goblins are overrunning the place. Goblins are slow-witted. If you kill their chieftain, they must accept you as their leader. Stick the chieftain's head on a spike somewhere the whole tribe can see. Then lead them to attack the Dreg. Once the Dreg's king is dead, we'll be free to explore, and to reward you handsomely, of course. Goblins are pathetic beasts, but they have their uses. We follow the ways of the Chimera, not the false gods of the Tribunal. We're servants of the web spinner who Vivek usurped. Dunmer, Goblin, or Dreg were all caught in the strands of the spider's web. I'm sworn to secrecy by my order, but rest assured, our cause is just. If you don't think the reward is worth... unbelievable. We've spent years searching for the Spinner's Shrine, and these... Yes, you've done as we agreed. Take this for your work. Now you will leave. Immediately. The secret of the Spinner's Shrine are not for outsiders. You were ordered to leave. What lies beyond this door is not for your eyes. Secrets are Spinner's currency. Besides, this shrine contains privileged information your dull mind would not comprehend. Have I made myself clear? You were ordered to leave.
First, pay respect to Farseer Quamta. She walks the Red Path this year, and it's customary to wish her well. Request to take part in the offering to the first Ashkans. Do that, and you should be able to ask their wise woman about the tomb. You'll see a great bonfire in the middle of the camp. She'll be there. Part of the ritual honoring her ascension from Farseer to Wise Woman. The Wise Women guide the Ashlanders on matters of faith. Even the Ashkans defer to them. The annual pilgrimage to Fathers of the Four Lord... Yes, the Hilaron... I discovered a tablet. The tribes gather here every year beneath Scar.
Your footsteps are as loud as a Kaguri's. What is it you want, Outlander? Have you now? Then you have my thanks, and my curiosity also. Outsiders rarely show us such respect. When they do, it is always because they want something. What do you want, I wonder? Remarkable. You would honor our ancestors. Very well. I give you my blessing. You hesitate. Shall I explain the custom? Each of the 4 great tribes seek a unique and worthy offering. You must place the gift at the foot of each Ashkan's cairn. For Ahemusa, an ashen fern. For Erebeninsum, the weapon of an exile slain by your hand. For Urshilaku, the bones of a Gwar returned to ash. And for Zainab, the hidden treasure of a Kwama queen. We will see how much fire you hold in your heart. Yes, though becoming is a clumsy word for it. Every daughter of Veloth has worth. When we learn to speak with our water tongue and read the truth in the stones, we also learn the truth of our hearts. The truth is, we have been wise all along.
Certainly aren't Ashlanders, not with those tales.
This is disturbing. I can't believe this. Why allow the Warclaws to run roughshod over the camp like this? What's House Redoran thinking? And what in the name of the 3 have they done with the Ashlanders? My brother often visited this camp. Took me along a couple of times. It used to be such a vibrant place, so full of life. I know House Redoran wants to expand along the western coast, but I never expected they'd set the Warclaws loose like this. If Ulran was here, he'd never stand for the Warclaws invading the camp. He told me the Ashlanders were the same as you and I. Different beliefs don't necessarily make people bad. We need to see if we can find out what happened here. I really want to help, but Nario won't hear of it. We don't get our hands dirty unless there's a writ attached. She's so fond of reminding me. We'll hang around and wait for you to find something before we move in.
Bea, I don't think this is a good idea. We're trying to keep you out of House Redland hands, remember?
You're not my parent, Nario. I can take care of myself, even if the mother of Blade doesn't think so.
Damn it, Bea. You know I hate that title.
If I'd realized how popular this camp was going to be with Outlanders, I would have moved the tribe ages ago. You don't appear to be one of the heretical invaders, but looks can be deceiving. Ah, Ulran the Exile. He disgraced his family and lost his status, but remained true to his heart. Ulran is here. He tried to stand against the Redorans, just as they detained me within this yurt. I assume they dragged him off to the mine, along with most of the tribe who refused to let those tribunal dogs walk all over us. Or should I say tribunal cats in this instance? Be wary. The mine will be as protected as the camp. Maybe even. It's a small hole in the ground, but it served us well until the Redorans and their war claws arrived. Now they toss my people aside and lock the door. Warclaw Irgazar carries the key, but there is a spare in the supply yurt. Get the key to the mine from either the Warclaw's commander or the supply yurt, whichever suits your needs. Perhaps you'll find what you seek within Kudanot's depths. To keep the head and the body separate. As long as I'm here, I can't offer my people hope or advice, and I certainly can't compel them to rebel against these invaders. I have no doubt. However, my place remains with my people, at least for now. The Warclaws have treated me well so far. They believe I can make their tails fall off if I so choose. Who am I to dissuade such creatures from their beliefs?
We're just going to burn them? Even the Reverend?
The captain called them traitors and savages. Said the good roasting was more than they deserved.
Intruders! War claws! Attack!
Veya, stay back. You don't need to see this.
What happened here? Oh gods, they murdered these poor Ashlanders! Oh no!
Intruders!
Oran!
War claws!
Oran!
Attack!
We can't, please!
Veya shouldn't have had to see this.
We just can't!
Even I'm finding it hard to believe that the mercenaries would slaughter these Ashlanders for no reason. Not to mention the son of a house counselor. I suppose anything could happen in the heat of the moment. But to kill a Redoran, even an exiled one, that's presumptuous even for the war clause. I wonder if Eris knows about this. I'm not sure how Veya's going to get her answers now. I've seen these before. They use them in Eastmarch to record and send important messages. They're expensive and as rare as a sober Nord. But Auron was always attracted to the contrivances of other cultures. Shall we see what it has to say?
If you're listening to my voice, know that my time is short, and what I have to say is important.
Brother, is that you?
Everything that happened was a deliberate act to discredit me. I need to report the events so my sister can learn the truth about her brother. You have to understand, I don't share my house's hatred and distrust of Ashlanders. So, during my normal patrol, when I heard that Ashlanders had come to Balmora and were causing trouble, I was dubious to say the least. I arrived to find one of my soldiers arguing with the Ashlanders. He spat at them, called them savages. When one of the Ashlanders objected, my soldier drew his sword. Before I could intervene, my soldier's blade struck him down. I ordered the soldier to stand down, but he ignored me and stepped toward the second Ashlander. I killed my own soldier. I had to. Before I knew it, I was dragged before the Redoran Council and exiled. I never even got to say farewell to my sister. I believe I was set up for this fall, but I don't know by who. I came to this camp for shelter, but House Redoran's reach grows ever longer. Now Captain Briven's here. I'm going to talk to them, just in case I made this stone for my sister Veya.
Oran! Damn it! What am I supposed to do
I agree
now?
with Ulran's assessment. Certainly sounds like someone led him into a situation guaranteed to make him fail. I can't believe he put this burden on Veya, though. What was Ulran thinking? I didn't say that. Just not sure how to proceed. We're entering dangerous waters here, going up against House Redoran. And we don't even have a writ to protect us. I'm going to take Veya and head back to our safe house in Balmora. They found our cave, but the abandoned basement is still secure. After that, I'm not sure. The Morag Tong has rules. If I break them, I'll have to deal with the consequences. We can't just kill with wild abandon. We follow a code. We only execute those whose names appear on sanctioned writs. If we kill respectable citizens without a writ, that's just murder. So, without proof and a proper writ, my hands are tied. You do that, but be careful. We're not sure who in the House Redoran is involved, and I'd rather not see you wind up like these poor Ashlanders. Bea and I still need your help to get to the bottom of all of this. We'll see you in Balmora, Hera.
What do you want?
Customers are always welcome.
And so the Outlander returns, as we discussed in the swamp. A complication? What kind of complication? I ordered my soldiers to stand down and let you do things your way. But instead of results, you bring me excuses. No, that's not possible. My son was banished, ordered to leave Vardenfell and never return. Why would he disobey me and go to those savages? Vea was with you? And you left her out there? By the three, everything is unraveling no matter how hard I try to maintain control. I need you to do something else for me, if you would, Outlander. Tell my daughter I'm sorry. Tell her she needs to stay away until I can calm things down. I don't want to see anything happen to her. Promise me. And take this. Consider it payment for your efforts thus far. If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you've told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, make sure Vea stays away from Balmora and House Redoran. It was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Briven to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. The situation didn't have to turn violent. Those damn savages should have just left. House Redoran has been slowly expanding in that direction for years. We claimed that area almost a year ago, but we were forced to temporarily abandon it when a massive ash storm hit. Before we could return, the Ashlanders moved in. Redoran depends on that land for hunting and resources. The Ashlanders are like a plague of insects. They sweep into an area, take everything, and move on. We couldn't allow them to do that here. So I sent Captain Briven to convince them otherwise. The captain serves House Redoran with honor and dedication. He's out doing his job. If Briven had anything to do with my son's death, he would have reported it to me. He'd have no reason to keep such news from me and the other counselors. I'll speak to Briven when he returns. But understand, the captain operated under my orders. He's an exemplary soldier and an upstanding member of the House. Like me, everything he does is for the betterment of House Redoran.
Is what you said about my son true? Ulran is dead? Ulran was good at getting himself into trouble, but I never thought it would come to this. Please, Outlander, don't let the same thing happen to my daughter. I don't attend council meetings, so I wasn't there when they debated the fate of my son. But my husband assured me the proceedings were fair. Ulran received the punishment he deserved. At least that's what he told me at the time. I can't believe that my son did anything that required him to die. House honor be damned! I just want my children back home, safe and sound. My husband and the house can go to oblivion. All I care about right now is my children. They killed my son because he did what he believed was right. Now my poor Vea is in danger. Eris can stand by the house, but he might have to do so alone. You agreed to work for my husband, Councillor Eris, to find our daughter Vea. You found Vea and kept her safe from the Warclaw's mercenary band. But in doing so, you discovered that they killed my son Ulran when they attacked an Ashlander camp. My daughter has joined the Morag Tong. She asked you to help find out what happened to her brother.
How can I help you?
Outlander, over here! Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Veya must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. That's why I came looking for you. Nayu has responsibilities to tend to. Morag Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Veya company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of comfort and solace. Unless I can kill something, I'm very good at that. You do understand. And now you implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Veya's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Nayu. One other thing. Nayu's job concerns House Redoran. That's why she didn't want Veya to accompany her on this one. Veya's grief-stricken, angry, and ready to lash out at anyone and anything, so keep your head low and try not to upset her. I have experience getting on a lot of people's bad sides. Women, especially, find me exasperating. Irresistible, but exasperating. It's a gift. Something about who Nayu's target is. Thinks the target may know something about what happened to her brother. Look, I'm not even sure how Veya found out who Nayu's target is, and I don't want to know. Just go and talk to her, please. Carefully, and with your hands empty and clearly visible. She's in the safe house beneath Balmora, or at least that's where I left her. But I didn't lock the door, so I suppose she could be anywhere by now. I suggest you hurry and get down there.
No matter what Naru... Oh, it's you. Did Ashur send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is going to find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now. No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. Sitting down here in the dark, hiding, that's not going to solve anything. I know, but Naryu's writ. It involves a Redoran counselor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The counselor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Naryu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here. Well, Naryu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenim Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenim Manor. My father used to say it was used by counselors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy. That's all I've been doing, thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost him his life. Brivon's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Brivon were best friends, even if they argued from time to time. Politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders, you name an issue, and Ulran and Brivon were probably on opposite sides of the argument. It got to the point where I had to ignore both of them or they'd drive me insane. You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead. Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? Did he know that Ulran had been banished? He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tong. At least Naryu understands me. Mostly. I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. Just you watch.